Alright, thanks.
I didn't see it, man.
Oh, you weren't? That's not fair.
Now who?
That's not fair. Come here, Will.
I feel love to play when I play.
Yeah, everything's good. You got that.
You sell many bricks?
I do sell, yeah.
I collect them too, but I just can't find a way to sell them.
Side of the store and then
What are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Seen one of them boxes lately?
No, I've never seen one of these.
Bubble gum. You don't see them no more.
Okay, $4,000. So I'll see about anything.
Yeah, I got a little bit of everything. You big ball.
Got another one here. Right here. Beat up. Nice one.
I'm a kid, bro. I don't want to say. Great. Great ball. They're found in Carolina. No. What you say there? I got the clothes on my face. Sure do now. How you doing?
Appreciate it. See you.
Hey, but this stuff in your place.
Yeah, it's good.
So this is a one-of-a-kind, huh?
That's what they say. You know how that story goes. It might be 10 and smoke your eyes.
Okay.
While he's talking, I'll come back.
Well, yeah. I got one boy that I knew and he was always aggressive. Pink block. It had a felt pad that clipped on there so it didn't want to bruise. Had a pin there that held it up. Wow.
He's going to be cruel. I'm playing with that.
Sheriff's got the hallway barbecue.
I've been trying to.
Never heard of that. We're sick. One showed up at the Baltimore show 2 years.
This is a video of all the bottles I bought at the Columbia, South Carolina bottle show. Before the show even started, there was a few people setting boxes out, and dozens of people were gathering around looking through them. Mostly ACL sodas. He said everything here is $5 each. I just picked that one up because I don't know, it's probably only worth $8 or $9, but still, I was pretty anxious to buy some stuff, so I got this one because it says lithiated, and because Heads Up is just one I haven't got yet. I'm sure it's worth at least 10. Then a Kickapoo Joy Juice. Sure, I've seen a few of these around, and I have several of them, but this one is truly mint. I'm sure I could get at least $12 for it. And here's one from New Mexico. It's the Yucca brand from Las Cruces. It's got a little bit of a chip on it, but for $5 I thought I'm sure I could get at least 10 for it eventually. In Key City, I think I already have one of these, but I just love the design on it so much I bought a second one. And here's one I don't have in my collection. Might only be worth $5, but not everything has to be a good deal as long as it's a fair deal. And Icy Brook. I already have one of these too, but if this one's not an improvement, I'll just put it on the shelf and resell it. And a lot of cola. I've seen about 30 of these in the 16-ounce size, but this is an odd 12-ouncer. No, it's actually 10 ounces. I've never seen one that small, so I just bought it because of that and because it's super mint, and it was only $3. Here's another $5 bottle. It just has a strange name, and I've never had the chance to buy one of these before. And because it's from the Barks Bottling Company and it's from Texas. Texas bottles are pretty popular. And the Circle A. I'm sure I have one or two of these already, but it just seemed like a good deal at $5. It's from Charlotte. And this one looks like a Big Chief. It's from Portland, Maine. And this odd one, it's in mint condition. It's from the Whistle Bottling Company. And it's from Del. Okay, on to something different. I saw this beer and I just thought, wow, that's really a nice picture embossed on there. I got it for $20. It's got to be about 1903. And it's got the name of the city, Charleston, South Carolina. I picked up one Pepsi for my collection. There wasn't a whole lot of Pepsis there, mostly straight Cokes. This is the teal one from Newberry, South Carolina. Had to buy that just to add some color to the collection. I don't know if I'd really call it teal or not. There might be another one that looks just the same but more of a dark teal. But in any case, it's definitely not your standard aqua. Then we got this one. I thought it was a pretty scarce one. Yeah, I bought this one early in the show thinking it was a rare one and I should snag it up before it gets away. But then I walked the show probably 12 times and I saw 4 or 5 more of these. This one's probably the worst condition of all of them. It has some very strong scuffage right here. It's going to take at least an hour to hand sand that out of there. It's got general scratches all over it. I think I got it for $50, but still, probably could have got a better example for almost the same price. And then this one is kind of a unique one. It's a beautiful looking bottle. Paid $60 for it. And this one from Union, South Carolina. It's going to take a lot of tumbling to get all that stain off of it. But that's kind of an interesting one. I don't think I have one in my collection with that style slug plate yet. Now this one may be the only one known to exist. The #1 collector of Goldsboro bottles doesn't have it. He asked everybody he knew that collected bottles if they had one. Everybody said no, they don't have one, and they've never seen a whole one of these before. This one's not mint, but it certainly displays pretty good. It's got a number of things like that big chip out of it. Another one over there. And the crown top has a chip out of it. But if it's really the only one known, it's got to be worth about $1,000. Especially because Goldsboro, North Carolina has a very large collector fan base. There are so many people in eastern North Carolina that collect. And this being the only one known, can't imagine it selling for less than $1,000. Then I saw this one, a very rare one. All these little grenade Dr. Peppers. There's 4 or 5 different variations, but this is the clear screw top, and it is the rarest. And he threw in this one for free if I bought that one. Of course, you can get these for $5. And here's the generic Cristo Cola, the early machine-made kind that doesn't have any city name on it. But it was only $10, and if it turns purple, that'll be quite a beautiful specimen. Then another baseball player bottle. I hadn't seen this one before. I think I got it for $12. So I'm sure I could get more than that for it after I clean it up a bit. And here's a classic ACL. I've been wanting one of these for a while. I think I had to pay $45 or $50 for that. But it is in mint condition. It's definitely one of the top 100 to have in your collection. If you collect painted sodas, that is. And this one has a very odd shape to it. I'm sure there's no other sodas with a neck like that. I only paid $8 for that one. And this fancy whiskey had $12 on it. He said he would take $8 because he was just ready to get out of the bottle selling business. And here's an ACL no deposit. Kind of an odd one. Don't think I have one of these in my collection. It's been packed away for so long I don't even remember. But it was only $5 or $6. And the Sun Ripe. It's super clean, sparkling. I paid $8 for that one. And here's a Christmas Coke. I actually picked this one up in an antique shop along the way. It's kind of in rough shape. It's even got a lip chip on it. But Laurenberg bottles are kind of scarce, and being only $3, I figured I could make a few off of it. This one I bought from an old man that found it in the woods in Lane, South Carolina. That's an extremely small town. It's impossible to believe they even had a Coke plant there, because there was only about 62 houses in the whole town. At any given moment, from 100 years ago on to now, it was always very small. This one's in extremely clean condition and no case wear, but it has a giant flash crack in it. I just took a gamble on it and said, I'll give you $5 if you want, and then I looked it up later, and the Christmas Cokes from that town are actually common. But I'm sure it's worth $5 to somebody. Here's a few more I bought out in the parking lot. I think I already have one of these, but I just thought it was an odd shape and had to pick it up because I had to make quick decisions because there was a lot of people gathering around and you had a few seconds to pick through them and grab what you wanted. And this one is usually in a 12-ounce size, but this one is only 7.5. How often do you see a 7.5-ounce mark? Probably only paid $3 or $4 for it. Then I got this one just because it's an odd color combination. The guy wanted extra for it because of where it's from. Allendale, South Carolina. Looks like it needs a bit of cleaning, but I think I paid about $7 or $8 for that one. And another bottle I probably already have one of, but I guess some of these I bought for investment purposes. I think I paid $10. Then an embossed Dr. Pepper. It's pretty darn mint condition. Don't have one from this town yet. Jackson, Tennessee. Paid $15 for this. And here's a really great Indian bottle. For 30 years I've collected ACLs, but I don't have one of these yet. He had 35 on it, but I think he gave it to me for 25. It does have a big chip out of it, but it's not really that noticeable unless you're looking for it. It's a very glossy, clean bottle. And then a generic straight-sided Coke. It's just got an interesting slug plate design. Paid $30 for it. Hope I didn't pay too much because it's going to require quite a bit of tumbling. Hopefully it'll come out good. And I bought a couple more no deposits that were rather rare. Had to pay $12 for this one. And White Rock debossed. I thought that was rather interesting. Seen plenty of painted label ones, but this one's rather interesting. I had to pay $15 for it. Even though it has a 1 on the bottom, makes me think he bought it from somebody else for $1 and marked it up to 15. And a Circle A in green. That's kind of weird. And it's from Columbia. Don't remember what I paid for that, probably $5 to $7. And a green Orange Crush. I probably have one already, but for $8 I figured I'll go ahead and get another one. Here's the last bottle. I already have one of these also, but this one is in better shape than the one I already have. It does have a few scuffs and it's going to require some tumbling, but I paid $75 for it. Well, that's it for this year's Columbia show.